I hope you enjoyed this Silver Sneakers Boom Muscle demonstration of strengthening the 3 muscle systems, and I'll let you know how it goes thinking about taking on this new class. Maybe I'll just continue with my videos. Hope to see you next time. Another exercise format that requires speed is jumping. Silver Sneakers, we don't recommend a lot of jumping activity. Again, it's hard on the joints, the muscles, you increase risk. So to start off, I would just suggest a heel lift with a little hop. See if we can get my feet incorporated in this. Heel lift, squat. I'm not even lifting my toes off the floor, but I'm getting the benefit of a hop. Again, if you train this way for a period of time, you can incorporate other moves. You can do a squat jump, or your squat and jump up. Really, your most benefit, I think, is from an inch or two. So let's see. Again, I incorporate my arms, gives me a little extra lift. And with your training, if you're feeling good, you can incorporate a box jump, which is a plyometric, up onto a platform. Start off with one that's pretty low. Here I got one that's about 6 inches high. Make sure it's stable. Let's try one. And step down. There's all sorts of plyometric exercise. Again, I would recommend being cautious. Start off very slow, only a few repetitions, once or twice a week. Another component of strength is explosiveness, or power. So power is defined as moving a weight with speed. Strength is moving that same weight with no component of speed involved. Most of our training is done in that second category. We're not really concerned with speed. So for speed component of strength, I like to start with a medicine ball. This facility has a whole range of medicine balls, which is great. Just example like a slam, where you lift the ball up and slam it down. So it's a fast movement. You can do a throw towards the wall. Or one I like to do is a lunge. Lift the ball up and over. So all 3 of those are incorporating speed with the throw. There's many versions of a fly machine or pec deck. This one by Live Fitness is what we have at the facility exercise. You can adjust the weight. Set the arms out to incorporate your range of motion. So it's seated, you grab the arms, Contract the chest forward. For me, this is in that second category. Typically, I'd increase the weight as a progression between each set, usually doing 3 sets. On this one, I can go by anywhere between 5 to 20 pounds between each. I'm going to demonstrate that maximum one, so I'm going to boost it up by about 50 pounds, see if I can get 5 or so repetitions. Again, safety features on this. If I can't move it, there's no risk. I don't drop the weights. I just let go of the handles. I wouldn't attempt a heavy lift on this because of the risk of tearing the muscle or tendon in the shoulder. As you lift, your blood pressure goes up. So if you have hypertension, I also wouldn't be doing these very heavy lifts until at least you have medical clearance by your provider. So let's see if we can get 1 to 3 reps. That wasn't too bad. For these heavy lifts, starting off again after weeks of working in that second and third range, probably no more than once or twice a week. Muscles on these require significant length of time to recover. They will improve your strength, but you have to be patient to get some time. Let's try one more set. Let's go by another 20. So I'm now 100 pounds or so over where I started. One was pretty challenging. We'll do one more. If you do a heavy set like that, again, give yourself 3 to 5 minutes recovery before your next exercise. Again, your body has to go through a lot of recovery, restore that system, and get back to doing your other exercises. Next progression is to move with dumbbells in a horizontal fly. Again, this is one you don't want to go too heavy because there's no protection if you can't manage the weight other than dropping the bell off to the side. It does have a tendency to put your shoulders at risk for excessive range of motion, so you have to be careful with it. Start with the dumbbells at the chest, out to the side. Keep a slight bend in my elbows. I want to increase the weight. I always go to a fly machine. While the horizontal fly does require some core engagement, the risks to me are not worth that small benefit. Plenty of other exercises to engage my core. Another exercise where I wanted to demonstrate the 3 different systems is the fly, chest fly. So I have a band, hands up about mid-chest, and increase tension, I can move forward. You can always progress this by increasing the tension in your chest muscles. You can modify it by going slower, moving back towards the support, takes some of the pressure off the band. I found I can do that quite a few repetitions. The thing that fails first isn't my chest muscles, it's holding my shoulders up horizontal. That's what wears out first. Before moving on to that third system, which is the very heavy strength system, where you can do certainly no less than 6 repetitions, generally maybe 1 to 3. You want to have done that second system of lifting weights for several weeks or months. Make sure that you're comfortable. You may find that every few weeks you're able to increase the weight, but still maintain that 10 to 12 repetitions for 3 sets or so. So this one I've added a plate to each side. So for that third system, which is towards the maximum lifts, I'm going to try 1. Again, form's very important. You want to breathe in, engage your core before you even start. Again, using a safety system like a Smith machine or some other situation, protect myself so that if I can't manage the weight, I can drop it, can quit part way, or not even get it off the ground. On this second system of muscle, this is the one where you can probably go no more than 20 seconds under tension, 6 to 12 repetitions for a fairly heavy weight. Again, to demonstrate a straight leg deadlift, I have a Smith machine set up with some significant weight. Again, I like this kind of machine because if I can't lift the weight, it's easy enough to let it down. Doesn't cause any problems. It does help me through a good range of motion without too much instability. The machine itself adds a little bit of stability so that I'm relying more on my legs to lift this, my back for stability, but it minimizes the risk of injury. So this one I'm starting part way up, make sure I can lift it up the first time, and then down. I have a block set on each side to stop it sort of at my upper mid shin, so it's a straight leg deadlift as opposed to a full deadlift. After 10 repetitions, my breath's pretty short, above V2, so I can't talk in full sentences. Need to let myself recover for a period of time, maybe a minute to 2 minutes, to attempt a second set. To start off exercising our long, slow muscle system, I grabbed a couple that light dumbbells. I'm going to put my feet shoulder width apart, feet pointed slightly outwards. I'm just going to do a deadlift where I bend my knees, let my weights come in about mid-shin, and then stand up. People would consider this at this position a straight leg deadlift. If you go a little lower, then a full deadlift. You want to make sure your first move is a hinge in your hips going backwards and your knees dropping as the weights drop. You want to keep your spine neutral. If you're reasonably in good shape, you could keep this move up for quite a long time. One of my activities is to cut up firewood in the forest, pick up a log, throw it into the back of the truck until I have a full load. So I'm doing this kind of move maybe for 30 minutes at a time, throwing in a throw as well. So that's that muscle system. It's aerobic. My breathing's sped up a little bit, but I'm still able to talk, so I'm below the second ventilatory threshold. Welcome to this edition of Silver Sneakers Boom Muscle. I recently saw a posting on my instructor website advertising for a Silver Sneakers instructor to lead strength sessions. There isn't a specific Silver Sneakers format for strength. Rather, there's several that do cover it. Things like the classic Silver Sneakers, Boom Muscle, Energy Chi, Yoga, all the different formats, stability require strength components. But to specifically address strength, we have to think of a few things first. As our bodies mature, we reach sort of our maximum bone density, muscle strength in maybe our 20s. It starts to decline after that. This is due to research has shown a drop in testosterone levels, both for men and women, and a drop in growth hormone levels. So as we are in our senior years, we've already lost a significant amount of strength and bone density as well. You can slow the progression by incorporating strengthening exercises, and hopefully that will also improve things such as mobility, balance, stability, your ability to enjoy the things you like to do in life. You have to consider there's sort of three muscle systems to address. The first one is these long, slow aerobic muscle activity that you find with walking or jogging, an activity that you can keep up for a long period of time, generally over a few minutes to hours, without becoming excessively fatigued. Then there's sort of a other muscle system. It's in this component of fast twitch muscles, which is an activity you might be able to maintain for 20 or 30 seconds or so. I generally find this is the kind of activity you're conducting when you do a Tabata interval. 20 seconds. Recovery is pretty quick. At 10-second recovery, generally your heart rate will slow, you'll have some more energy, and you can do another set. Then there's another fast twitch muscle metabolic system that uses very short periods of very high exertion. This is a kind of muscle system you'll see incorporated in your maximal strength exercises, like in an Olympic lift or a power lifter, someone going for their maximal lift they can do with 3 to 5 repetitions at most. This system often requires a significantly longer period of time to recover, And that's why you'll see in some exercise regimens that you wait 3 to 5 minutes between sets. These last system, where you're pushing yourself to your maximal exertion, I think is the one that is at the highest risk for acute injury, muscle tears, joint problems, etc. So you want to have a really good base of strength in both those other two, the sort of intermediate duration and the long-term duration before attempting that maximum. So if I were to lead this class, I would start off with sort of typical silver sneakers, boom muscle, classic, and if there's participants who want to start getting into those the fast twitch, very short duration system, I'd start off with some machines. A machine, it's easier to, if you can't lift the weight, to get out of the position without hurting yourself. Or if you try, let's say, a maximal bench or press, you don't have a good spotter, you're not set up properly, that can really be very significant cause for injury. Squat, deadlift, etc. We want to minimize the risk of injury because, again, as seniors, we don't recover very fast. So if you sprain your back doing a heavy lift, it might take you a couple months, if ever, to get back to normal. So I'm going to start off today demonstrating a few components of this class I might be leading or just might do on my videos. So let's start off with some balance work. All of this is from the Silver Sneakers stability format. So just start off with a slow march. You always want to warm up your muscles, get your heart rate up, blood pressure, your respiratory rate. Also helps to focus your mind. And I always add arm circles. You could start low, at just a slight angle above vertical. And as the arms warm up, you can bring it up towards horizontal. As you're up at this higher level, you want to make sure to keep your shoulder blades down and together. If your arms get tired, you can always lower. This again is our warm up in reverse direction. Down, shaking that a little bit. Let's bring our palms up towards the ceiling. And a forward rotation. And we're going to reverse, backward rotation. And some trunk twists. If you're in an exercise class, as your head moves to the side, you can smile at your next door neighbor. And some shoulder rolls backwards, shoulder rolls forwards. Let's do one side. Going forward on this side, can we go backwards on the other side and forwards on this side? And the other side forward. Trying to add the other side backwards. This is one of these exercises I like to do to try and keep my mind working. It's a coordination more than anything else. Do some partial squats, bringing our arms forward. Don't have to go very deep. Again, we're just warming up those muscles. And let's do a one-sided knee lift. And hold for a few seconds and switch. Hold your balance. You want to engage your core muscles, your glutes, and the muscles in the supporting leg. I always try and push my foot on the supporting leg into the surface. I think that helps me maintain. We can bring the knee up and out to the side. Oops. Back, up, to the side. That subtle move changes the location of your center of gravity, so you have to compensate for that. That's why you often lose your balance the first time as you're getting used to that. I like to do a side tap with one foot. And do a front, side, back, together. And we'll switch to the other side. Front, side. And one more. And a challenging version of this is to take your outside foot, side tap, bring it across in front, up to the side and behind. And one more. Other side, side, front, side, behind. You can always have a chair or another support nearby to hold on to if you lose balance. So maintaining balance is both a combination of our internal balance mechanisms from the nervous system and muscle strength. It does take strength to balance on one leg as you're walking. It takes mental focus and your internal balance mechanisms. One thing I ran across on the internet was the reason sometimes older people fall is they're afraid of falling, so they focus directly on the ground in front of them, which makes them have a lean forward posture, which again alters the center of gravity. So the recommendation from this group was that you switch your gaze every couple seconds from certainly in front looking for hazards, up towards the horizon, and then side to side. So that as you're walking, you're scanning constantly. Again, this allows for a more upright posture, better balance, and awareness of potential hazards. Also reduces fear, because if you know everything that's going on around you, you know what's in front of you, hazard for tripping, but you also can enjoy the scenery and the world around you as you're getting in your daily walk.